You're listening to WGAB The GabCast by the Gabber newspaper, your source of news for Gulfport, St. Pete, and the beaches.
Welcome back to WGAB The GabCast. I'm Cameron, and today Cathy and I went to 3 Gulfport LGBTQ supportive businesses, and you can see the rest of that business list at thegabber.com. But now, here's Ethan to talk about Gulfport's City Charter Review Committee's first meeting.
Thanks, Cam. Last week, the Charter Review Committee reviewed 2 sections of the Gulfport Charter, sections 305 and 306. So section 305 basically talks about what you're allowed to do and how you're allowed to do it as city council. And it says that you're not allowed to direct or hire city staff without going through the city manager. If you read the Gabber a couple weeks ago, even months ago, we had this fun little org chart on the front cover that talks about how the city council can only go through the city manager if they want something from city staff. Now, if you are a council member and you do not go through the city manager to get to city staff, and you are requesting things unilaterally, 305 outlines exactly what happens. As it stands, it says that you'll be found guilty of a second-degree misdemeanor. But the problem is the city can't charge anyone with misdemeanors, and so they have to wait for the state attorney to do that. And the city can't actually enforce any of that. So the city attorney recommended that the committee change that and have city council do what it is allowed to do, which is set a vote and remove someone from council. And so that's what they did. So the recommendation says that a majority of the remaining members, so 3 out of the 4 remaining members, can vote off somebody on council if they think that they violated section 305 or any other section of the charter. So that's going to be coming in the next recommendations. They also looked at section 306. Section 306 talks about vacancies and how council fills them. So council can kind of has a lot of discretion on how they fill vacancies. For example, if, say, one of the council members spends some $6,000 on basically whatever they want with the city credit card and they resign in shame, then council can kind of just fill that position with whoever was in that seat beforehand. Or if a council member moves away to Tennessee, for example, like what happened with Paul Ray, council can collect resumes and field a number of candidates and then kind of make a decision that way. So the committee recommended that the charter require council to receive resumes before making any kind of unilateral decision for filling vacancies. And so that recommendation will be reflected in the next round of charter language.
Hi, I'm Patrick. Here's your positive thing for the day. Your hair looks fantastic.
So the first place we stopped was right next door to our neighbors at Stella's Divine Wine, where we ran into Mike McHugh, who is old school Gulfport, seen a lot of changes. And when I first moved to Gulfport, Mike was already here, and there was no Pride celebration in Gulfport. Was there, Mike?
No, there was not.
Do you think Pride still matters?
Absolutely.
That's fair. Okay. Why?
It's 1 month out of a year that we're able to celebrate being LGBTQ. And it wasn't always that easy. And I think even as it's gotten easier these days, it's really important to celebrate.
Right. And the business we are in is Stella's Sundries, which you manage, but you also manage Stella's Divine Wine.
Correct.
And obviously, in the paper last week in the Gabber, we talked about LGBTQ owned and LGBTQ supportive businesses. This is both. How do you feel that the owners of these stores support the LGBTQ people who shop here and the people who live here?
100%. Their requests or their needs are always looked after. If it's an LGBTQ resource as far as product to sell them or just as individuals, it's 100% embraced.
And although you can't see us, we are looking at all the Pride decor here, and also throughout the year, all the fun little humorous LGBTQ themed things they sell here, like their coasters that always have such special messages. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
I'm Stacy Purcell, and I am owner-broker of Gulfport Realty in the wonderful, diversified town of Gulfport, Florida. Pride to me means a lot of things. I don't really think of it as a celebration. I think of it as it's a call of awareness, because every time we have Pride, we seem to be fighting another issue. Last year I did a little comedy skit, and it was regarding the banning of books and how we couldn't say gay. Don't say gay. So I started my little comedy skit with a piece of tape over my mouth, and I stood there as long as I could till everybody got anxious or antsy. And then, then I went into, well, we won't be silenced. Okay. And then I had a little book burning where there's been, historically, there's many anti-gay books. I don't see them coming to the forefront. And so I printed fake copies of them, and we threw them into a fake fire because I had my own book burning. It was pretty fun. And I kept it, all the memorabilia from that. So I don't celebrate it. I mean, I do have a good time every year, but it's with a heavy heart for all of us, though, because now, here again, we're up against a number of things that go against how we choose to live our lives and how we choose to love. So until we have complete acceptance, and the day we do, and hopefully it's in my lifetime, I will celebrate that day and look out, because I will really celebrate. I'll be dancing with Cathy over there in the streets. We'll be dancing in the streets. I'm proud of who I am every day. Do I think of myself as like the number one thing is gay every day? I don't really think of that every day. I wake up and I'm like, I think of myself as just a person, so Pride, it's just it's a call for sometimes action. It's a call for awareness. That's what it means to me. Even my mother, who at first, because she was from the 30s, was like, what is this going on here? What is all this? Well, in her last days in hospice, I have the cutest picture of her all in her Pride gear. Okay, she looks so cute sitting in that little bed, and that's what it means to me that my mother accepted me. Whoop, choking up now. I gotta go. I'm choking up.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
My name is Eddie McClure. I am the owner of Gulfport Corner Store. So Pride means to me basically honoring those people who have come before me, those people who have broken down barriers, broken down the walls, kicked in the door, so to speak. So those who have contributed to the community, who have brought us to where we are today. And it also shows me how much further we have to go, to be all inclusive, to celebrate who we are, to have the right to love who we love. So,
Or why should Pride be celebrated? If it should be.
Oh, I think it should be. I think it should be, first of all, shouldn't be in the month of June. It's way too hot. But
Absolutely.
I think it should be celebrated. I think just like any celebration, I personally feel like it should be celebrated every day. I think, again, to the question before, you celebrate to honor those before you. And I think that's with anything, right? Like any kind of thing that we honor and that we celebrate. You're celebrating those who have come before you, those who have knocked down those walls, those who have put us in the position that we are today. But it's also, I think, more than a celebration, it's a coming together in the fact that we show solidarity and we come together, gay, straight, bi, trans, whatever you are. But if you believe in a person's right to love and their right to choose, then you show up and you stand with those people, right? And that's what Pride is. And, allies, people in the community, we work together to continue that fight, and we have so much further to go. it's like you take one step forward and there's 10 steps back, so to speak. So it's continually, especially in today's climate, the wolves are at the door and they're trying to take our freedoms away. And so I think that's what Pride is about, is to stand tall, believe who you are, stand firm, and show solidarity.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. Absolutely. Well, thank you
And
so
it's
much.
not easy.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's scary.
So
Yeah.
you guys are doing fantastic and everything, and I'm hoping we can spread the message more.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for tuning in to WGAB The GabCast. Until next time, you can get all your Gulfport, St. Pete, and the Beaches news at thegabber.com. This episode was recorded and edited by me, Nicole Vogler, with additional recording by Cameron Healy, the editor-in-chief of the Gabber newspaper. And the music you heard throughout this episode was made by Cyberwave-Orchestra. Thank you to all of you for tuning in. And to steal a line from Ethan, we have been the Gabber, and this has been the GabCast. We'll see you next time.